What's up, guys? How you guys doing? I'm back here with another video. This time around I'm gonna show you guys what I've been watching over the past couple of weeks. I'm gonna start off with a movie that's really popular, really famous. Well, it was back in the day. This movie came out in 1996, and it's by the Coen brothers, Ethan and Joel. This movie is called Fargo, and I have it here on the Steelbook edition. This movie was really good, really fun, and it's actually I think it's one of the first movies that it said that it was based on a true story, but it really wasn't. So yeah, at the beginning of the movie it says it was based on a true story, based on in 1987, that it really did happen. But then, like in the bonus and the features here, with an interview with the Coen brothers, they actually said that it wasn't it was not based on a true story. So they actually lied to the fans about being a true story. It could have happened because it's the story about the husband plotting to kidnap his own wife so that his father-in-law could actually pay the ransom, the amount of money that he wants to, make his life a little bit better and open up his own business and buy his own land or whatever he wanted to do. I don't remember what he wanted to do with the money, but all I know is that he needed that amount of money to do something to better up. But his father-in-law was very stingy, so he wouldn't give him money for anything. So what happens is that William Macy's character, which is a husband, hires two guys to kidnap his own wife, so that the father gives in money, but everything goes downhill and it goes really bad with the two guys that he hires, and it was just a big mess. Frances McDormand, which is the actress that plays the cop, the investigator in the case, was a very has actress in this movie. So I really enjoyed this film. It's called Fargo, 1996. Special features here have the audio commentary with Roger Deakins, which is a director of photography. It has a special featurette called Minnesota Nice. And what they talk about is that they talk about like how nice people are in Minnesota, and they say it's a very nice, everyone's very polite in Minnesota and all that stuff. Then it has an interview with the Coen brothers, Joel and Ethan, and a bunch of other stuff like still photo gallery, original trailer and TV spots, an American cinematographer article. So yeah, this is a really good Blu-ray here, and of course Shout Factory, MGM, or the distributor. You can see here the interior artwork, pretty cool, pretty neat. This is the 20-year anniversary. Very well acted. Steve Buscemi is one of the guys that Macy hires. And yeah, and it was fantastic. I really liked it. It did win a lot of awards. So yeah, in 1986, Best Picture, and actress in a leading role, Frances McDormand, she won. And actor in supporting role, William Macy. So it was an overall great film, Fargo. If you haven't seen it, they actually made a TV series on this, so now there's a TV series going on about it. So Fargo, definitely a very good movie if you've never seen it. Next up, I saw 3 O'Clock High. This is from the Shop Select line, number 33 in the spine. Well, this movie is basically about this guy. His name Jerry Mitchell, that was his name in the movie. So Jerry Mitchell, he's like a super nerd in school. He's into like the high school newspaper. He works at the gift shop at school, and he's very involved in school, and he's very nerdy. Well, this guy some big ass troublemaker from another school comes to his school, and his name is Buddy Reveal, and Buddy is like a major bully. So the very first day of his school, of Buddy's in school, Buddy being in school, the teacher tells Jerry Mitchell that he's supposed to write a paper on, an article in the newspaper on Buddy, to make him feel welcome to his new school, his new beginning and all that stuff. So they clash in the bathroom, and Jerry Mitchell, asks him, like, more about him, and then Buddy tells him, I don't like people knowing about me, and it's a battle against the bully versus the nerd. And then finally Jerry Mitchell, which is the nerd, taps him on the shoulder and says, hey, it's okay, buddy, no hard feeling. And the bully, the big guy, really hates when they touch him. So he plans out to have a fight after school at 3 o'clock, when school ends. And the nerd, which is Jerry Mitchell, he'll do whatever possible to get out of class, to get out of school, to go back home, not to be there. Tries to pay him off, and it's crazy. Like he tries to get away with it, but tries to get away from school and tries to get away from 3 o'clock from happening. But whatever. So the entire movie boils down to the buildup of the fight between Jerry Mitchell and Buddy, which is the actual bully here. So it was very, very funny. It was very, very good. It had that 80s vibe. This movie should definitely be in the anybody's top list of the 80s high school movies. Really, really fun. It was 1987, and the wardrobe, everything, the style, everything from the 80s. The music was awesome. So I really, really, really liked this very much. The bully was a badass. It was everything was really, really good, and the fight scene was really funny at the end. So I'm very happy that Scream Factory put this out on Blu-ray for us to have a better copy of it. Very, very well acted. The next one I saw here was Matinee, and this is of course with the great John Goodman. This movie was very, very good. It had that 1950s. It was actually based in 1962, and into like what was going on with the Cuban Missile Crisis. That everybody was panicking back in the days, like in the Keys and Key West in Florida, because Cuba had those missiles pointing this way. That if John F. Kennedy was gonna bring the ships to invade Cuba, the Russian missiles are gonna be blown to the United States. So everybody was like in panic mode, and then John Goodman's character here, he took advantage of that and had this crazy ass movie with a huge giant ant. But he was more of an innovative filmmaker, and then instead of just putting the movie out there for people to see, he wanted the chairs to vibrate, and the actually Ant-Man to come out and fucking scare people and shit. And actually his name was Mant, the ant guy, and then things got way out of proportion, and the Mant actually came out, and he started beating up people for real, and it went crazy. Everybody went nuts. Everybody actually thought with the rumble shaker of the movie theater, they actually thought that they were blowing up the United States with the missiles, with the Cuban missiles and all that stuff. Very well acted, very entertaining. I don't know why it hasn't gotten enough recognition. Like, I've never heard of this movie before. Shout Factory put it out there, and it was really, really, really well done. Very entertaining, and has a bunch of special features here. Has a full version of Mant, the film, and the making of, Paranoia and Ant Vision. Joe Dante discussing the film. Of course, directed by Joe Dante. I forgot to mention that. He's a really good actor. This is a 1993 release, and really, really good. It's if you like kids you know, those movies that have kids adventures in it, definitely this one's picking up because it was based, you know, there are like maybe like 12, 13-year-old kids running around, and you know, they were like the main protagonists here in this movie. So definitely give this one a watch. Really, really good. The other one I saw was Bullethead. Bullethead here with Antonio Banderas, Adrian Brody, and John Malkovich. Really, really good movie. And it was actually a heist gone wrong, and then they were all trapped in this big ass warehouse. And Adrian Brody's character was doing the impossible to get the hell out of there, but then there was this creepy ass dog chasing him and not letting him out, and Antonio Banderas was chasing him with a gun and trying to kill him because, you know, he kind of like wanted what he came for. And yeah, but this was very, very, very well. John Malkovich, this all-star cast was really, really good. So yeah, definitely a movie of a heist gone wrong, and you know, special features here, deleted scenes, filmmakers commentary, and a bunch of other stuff like the concept of bulletproof, the score of Bullethead, preparation and performance, the animal actors of Bullethead, because like I said, there was a dog there that was going crazy on Adrian Brody. The scenes with Adrian Brody versus that dog were amazing, and then at the end of the day they became friends. But anyways, definitely worth watching. Really, really good movie, Bullethead. Then I got this one I saw this one not too long ago, maybe like a couple of days ago. This is called Vamp. This is from Arrow Video, one of my favorite companies. And actually this movie was amazing. Really, really good. Very well acted, very well, it went by very smoothly. What it is that the two friends, Keith and AJ, they want to join this fraternity. But in order to join the fraternity, they have to buy booze, and they have to, one of the things is to get a stripper to go into the party to entertain the veterans in the fraternity. So they ended up at the strip club where you know, Grace Jones' character is, and then AJ really wants Grace Jones to be the stripper to go to the party that they want to do for the veterans in the fraternity, so they could pledge, so they could be in the fraternity. And once they go to that strip club, they encounter a bunch of vampires and a bunch of crazy ass shit, and it was really, really fun. Grace Jones' character was really good. Duncan was the Chinese. They go to a friend, and his name is Duncan, some kind of Chinese kid that has a lot of money, and they need him because he has a car. So they use him, and then they become friends with him, and then they end up at the strip club. The little Chinese guy gets drunk as hell. AJ gets into a mess, and it's just fun. It all takes place in one night, and a lot of things happen in that one night. Grace Jones did not say a single word in the entire movie. She was quiet the whole time. She was like the queen vampire, and it was really, really like one of my favorite vampire movies, hands down. And the sad part thing about this is that I've never seen it. This is like the first time I ever saw this, and it was really, really good. I really loved it. It has that vibe, and it's underground on the sewers. It has a lot of shit going on here. There you go, the interior art design cover here, with all three of them under the, has like a little booklet here, with all three of them under by the sewer. The sewer takes a lot of, they have a lot of time in the sewer. This is like the owner of the club. He actually wants to move the club to Vegas, and he's obsessed with going to Vegas and stuff. But really, really good, well done film, Vamp. If you've never seen this, I highly, highly recommend this. It's packed with extra features, a lot of features. You can see it back here, all the cool stuff that it has. So that was Vamp from 1986. Then I watched this one called Happy Death Day, and this is basically a movie that it repeats itself, and you got to figure out what's going on, and then the next day it's the same thing, and the next thing is the same thing until you figure out what's going on. And actually, a lot of people bash this movie. I'm not gonna say it was good. It was alright, but it wasn't as bad as people think it was. Of course, Blumhouse is the one that produces this, and they also did Split and Get Out. So, but yeah, it's well acted. It wasn't scary at all, and it was just like a typical, 2000s modern day horror flick. Then I saw LBJ with Woody Harrelson. Awesome fucking movie. I didn't know so much about Lyndon B. Johnson as far as like how much him and Robert Kennedy disliked each other. So apparently, yeah, they really didn't like each other, and that's basically it. And it just shows like how JFK, how the assassination of JFK, and how the process of Lyndon B. Johnson taking over the White House, how he really wanted to take over like right away. He didn't want to wait, and Robert Kennedy didn't like that. And it was just a story of what really did happen back in 1962, and actually 64. Was it 63? November 22nd, 1963. That's when it happened. So, so a lot of truth to what really did happen was in this film, and it was very nicely directed by Rob Reiner, and I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. Then I saw a movie from Severin Films called Eaten Alive. This is a cannibal movie, and it was pretty gruesome, very gruesome actually. It's basically about a group of guys looking for what's her name? I forgot her name, but they were looking for her sister that was in the jungles here, and they come in encounter with a bunch of crazy ass people that actually eat people, a bunch of cannibals. This was filmed in 1980s. It has a great documentary. I'm talking about like an hour and a half long documentary with Mimi Lay, which is like, she's a cannibal queen. She's been in so many cannibal movies. And yeah, so this movie is directed by Umberto Lenzi, Italian director, and it also has a huge interview session with him too. So it's packed of awesome extra features, and the movie itself was really good, very gory, and it looked real. There's a lot of animal cruelty, so if you don't like to see animals getting slaughtered and all that shit, do not watch this, because this is very hard to watch if you really care about animals. And of course, they eat people, so it was a crazy fucking movie. Never seen it? Highly recommend it if you're into cannibal movies. This got to be up there in the top 10 for sure. Eaten Alive. Great release by Severin Films. Then I saw Basket Case, which I've seen like 10-20 times already. Very good. If you've never seen it, it catches a glimpse of what New York was back in 1980, in the 80s. I don't know, 1982. So this is from 1982, and it just shows how sleazy New York used to be in '82, like those projects, those areas. This is a release by Arrow Video, so you know it's gonna be packed with extra features. That's a lot of extra features. It has too much to mention, but the most important part of it is that it has a brand new 4K restoration, and it was definitely very entertaining. The little monster in the basket case was hilarious, super funny, and this is actually the debut of Frank Henenlotter, which he also went off to direct Brain Damage, another great movie. and Frankenhooker, another awesome movie. So yeah, I was really a big fan of Basket Case. This is obviously not rated, the unrated version of it. And there's a bunch of interviews. There's so much, but I mean, it's just worth. If you don't like the movie, it's just worth to see all the featurettes and everything that, you know, a bunch of short movies in it. So definitely a must buy. This is the interior design, artwork. Really cool. The story, the plot is awesome. Like, about, you know, some guy trying to take care of his brother. They were both born together. They're Siamese twins, and one of them was cut off, and then he became like a little monster, a little creature, and they didn't like him from birth. And then he was trying to protect his brother all along, but his brother likes to eat people and likes to eat, you know, stuff that he shouldn't be eating. And definitely a very good horror 1980s movie, kind of comedy in it too. Then I saw a movie called Free Fire, and it's a really good movie. This was in 2016, but I saw it last week. And I mean, what can I say about this? It starts with a typical exchange from me buying guns to, you know, the gun dealer and the buyer, and you know, all hell breaks loose because one of the buyers. It was actually two teams, the buyers and the sellers. So someone from the sellers team had a history with someone from the buyers team, and then they hated each other, and then they started shooting at each other, and then all of a sudden it becomes a firefight, a gunfight. The whole entire movie. This is 90 minutes of just gunfighting in a big warehouse. And it was fun. It was very entertaining. A lot of people say it was boring because it has no plot. Well, the plot is simple. Two people, two groups going at it. They're firing at each other, and then a third group comes, which is like the intruders are trying to, like, you know, they've been hired by someone else to kill one of them. But this has a great cast. It has Brie Larson, Armie Hammer, Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy is also the guy that plays Scarecrow at the Batman movies. He was also in Inception. He's in a lot of Christopher Nolan movies. And also it has Charlton Copley, which a lot of people don't know, but he plays a South African, the main guy that sells the guns. His name is Vernon in the movie. Really well played. He was really funny. And this is freaking badass. Like, I really enjoyed this movie. It wasn't not only the action, there was a lot of blood involved. All-star cast, of course. A lot of blood involved, and not only that, but it was very comedic, very funny. You know, what I liked about it is that you get to know the characters before they get into the gunfight, and then you get very familiar with these characters, and you kind of care for them because they're funny. They all, you know, they're like, oh shit, you're still alive. Like, they're shooting, oh my god, and it just keeps on and on. I highly recommend this. It was really fun. Forget about what people say. There's a lot of haters towards this movie. I really enjoyed it. A lot of bullets were flying. People got shot multiple times and they kept on walking. Like, I don't know. And, you know, it had, the ending was alright. It was pretty good, you know. But it's actually set in the 70s. So everybody had that 70s look. So it was pretty good, man. I really liked Free Fire. Then I saw what I consider to be probably the movie of the year. This movie was so good. Really good. It's called Molly's Game. If you've never seen Molly's Game, I highly recommend you watch this. This is a story about Molly, which when she was a young teen, you know, ever since a kid, growing up, she wanted to become an Olympian for the Team USA in skiing, and she was a really good skier, freestyle skier, and but one sad day she made one of those flips. She fell. She messed up her back. She had back surgery. She went back, but then she never was the same. So she had to kind of like retire from that, and she started working as a bartender at a bar, making some chump change. But then one thing led to another, and then she became like a ringleader of a gambling night. So she had her own night, and she would rent a hotel and have game night there, and had a huge business. She would get tipped a lot of money. So she was basically like a gambling gangster. Like, she had so many people playing in her table, a lot of celebrities. This is actually based on a true story, and if you've never seen Molly Bloom, Google her. Her real name is Molly Bloom, and she is beautiful in real life. The actress that portrays her here, she's really hot too. She was very pretty, and I can't. Her name is Jessica Chastain. Kevin Costner plays her father. This movie was excellent, really good. Idris Elba, the lawyer, was amazing. He had a part there where he was talking to her that it was like chilling, like it was so good. Then it had the part of the judge of the verdict. This movie was complete. It was really good. The ending was really good. And what's crazy about it is based on a true story. This really did happen. The supporting actors were great. Everything about this was really good. And definitely movie of the year candidate for me, in my opinion. Molly's Game. And so there's so much to talk about this, but I don't want to give spoilers out. Just Google her story. You read about it and then watch the movie, and you're gonna love it. This movie was really well made. This is the back of it, and some of the actors that played in it. The only flaw about this release, it's not the movie. The movie was amazing, but the release itself, that it only has one bonus feature and it's building an empire, and that was kind of like a dumb feature. Like, there's nothing to it. Like, so it doesn't have any special features or anything. It's just, whatever. It is what it is. And this is the only version that I know that's available. So definitely Molly's Game, really good movie. Then I got what was movie of the year last year. I saw it yesterday, as a matter of fact, and this is called The Shape of Water, and was nominated for 13 Academy Awards, Jesus, including Best Picture, which it won. And of course, directed by Guillermo del Toro, the Mexican director. Really good, very well done movie. Basically, the story about Beauty and the Beast. I mean, the guy was a mermaid caught from the sea, I believe in the 1960s, and 1962 during the Cold War era in America. And Zelda, which was a black lady, awesome supporting cast. So this is a story about this girl, this lady. She's not a girl. She's already older. Her name is Elisa. She's a mute, and then she's a janitor. She's a housekeeper in this big facility, for the government. But the government captured this creature from the sea that's sort of like a mermaid. And then she every time she goes cleaning, she would feed them she would put an egg, and she'll feed them eggs, and they became friends. And then she overheard that they were gonna kill this creature, and she really didn't want to kill the creature. And then she goes back and tries to escape with the creature. And she got some help from other people and all that stuff. But yeah, really interesting, really good, well done movie. The special effects on the creature was amazing, astonishing. Really, it's awesome, bro. It was really good. And then the bad guy was awesome in this movie. Really good. Guillermo del Toro deserves a very good you know, deserves what he got. You know, best pictures. I'm sure he's happy with that. But the thing is that I don't know, man. I don't see it as the best picture. It was good, but it wasn't. I don't know, man. Like best picture. I don't know. And but yeah, definitely a really good movie. Beauty and the Beast story. There was nothing to it, and he, you know, Shape of Water. Definitely is good for a watch. Then I got this movie here called Boys, and this is with Noah Ryder, and Skeet Ulrich is in it, John C. Reilly's in it, James LeGros is also in it. This is a release from Kino Lorber. This is from 1996, and it's basically the story of James Lee Gross' character, which finds Winona Ryder on the ground, on the floor. The thing is that she fell off a horse, and then they took her back to school. He was gonna get kicked out because he's in an all-boys school, and then the drama continues and continues and continues. Winona Ryder had a crazy night last night, the night before, and she did something with some famous baseball player, and then she's scared that the cops might get her, and it's just a movie full of crazy drama, but it was really, really good, very, very entertaining. I really loved the soundtrack on this, very 90s alternative kind of shit. Skeet Ulrich and Lucas Haas audition tape in this special features. They got selected B-rolls, audio commentary by the director Stacy Cochran. It has the All Right cast, the All Right music video. It has a bunch of cool features here, but definitely a really good, well-made movie. Typical 1996, darker. It's a darker movie for its time, and I really enjoyed it. The acting was good, and it was a very fun movie. I highly recommend it. If you see John C. Reilly looks really young in this movie. He's the cop. He's the cop in town. So, and it also has a scene of them going to the fair, which, you know, I love movies of people that end up in carnivals and fairs. So yeah, definitely must watch. Boys, really good movie. And then the last one I saw this past 2 weeks is a low budget, very low budget, if it had any budget, movie called The Violent Movie. And this is just like a homemade video put together by two brothers, and they're called Eric Wilkinson and David Wilkinson, and it's just them two portraying this killer. This is a shot on video release, and it's really cool. Shot on VHS, home, you know, very awesome. Cheesy as fuck. What can I say? Each of them is like 15 minutes long, but one of them is the first part. There's actually two parts: a Violent Movie Part 1 and Violent Movie Part 2. The first one was 14 minutes, and the other one was 19 minutes. But it's just it's a homemade video. And if you guys are into like very extremely low budget movies, definitely give this one a watch. It's released by MVD Visual. So yeah. So definitely, out of all these movies that I saw a lot of good ones, but man, this Molly's Game really got to me. It was really good movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend this. Top of my list right now as a really good movie, and it should have been up there with, you know, Shape of Water and all those award-winning movies. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys like this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Goodbye.